that chapter allows you to have your kit updated in terms of firmware. You just need to do this if you find any change that can improve your version, and we publish those on the forum on a regular basis. Every time we have a new release, we publish it on the forum, and sometimes for a specific external sensors or stuff like that, we have pre-releases or minimal releases that can be more custom. So depending on the type of sensor that you're using, maybe you have a custom release, but that's for specific cases. Now, the next subject is how can you talk to your kit in a little bit more advanced way than using your phone and just using a button and the LED as a feedback. The USB interface for the kit allows us to have a text interface that we call the shell. In our documentation, there is a very detailed guide on how this works. I'm just going to go over a global overview of all the commands that you can use, but not all the commands, but the most important ones, and the type of things that you can do with this, this shell. The shell, let me open it so you can see it. When you install the Arduino IDE, the one that I told you at the beginning of the webinar, you will have a screen like this. And in the tools menu, you can select a port. A port means any device that's connected to your computer that offers an interface that can be a serial interface. Depending on what's connected on your computer, you will have several things here, and depending on your OS, you will have different names. In this case, the Arduino 0 is in fact the Smart Citizen kit, but in terms of a low-level USB codes, it showcases as an Arduino. So if I select this one, I'm in fact talking to my Smart Citizen kit. To open the terminal where I can interact on real time with it, I can go to Tools, Serial Monitor, or just click this small icon on the left, on the right, sorry. That will open this window. That's at the beginning is like a blank window, but the output of the kit will show on the bottom, and on the top we have an input line where we can type commands. In this slide, as you can see the web page for the Arduino. There are two versions. They just released the beta version 2.0. We haven't tested that version enough, so we recommend you that for now you keep using the previous version. In terms of features for the things that we're going to do, they are the same. So there's no need to update yet. Maybe later we will test it and see that it works properly. Once you're connected to the kit, like I did now, selecting the port and opening the serial monitor, if you go to the top input field and just click enter, you will see that the kit responds with a prompt. Okay, that means that the kit is properly connected and it's alive. And it can interact with us depending on the commands that we send to him. Okay, the kit has a normal loop when it's properly configured, as you can see on the slide, where the output of the readings of the sensors and all the events that happen during the normal workings of the kit will be shown in the screen. In my case, nothing is shown because I haven't yet configured the kit. We're going to do it together to see how we can configure the kit via the shell and test other options and commands for advanced configuration. So the first and most common thing that we do in any new environment is just type help. Okay, I'm going to make my window bigger here so you can see it. Help, it's a command that has a lot of output. As you can see, is the command's name, and a really brief description on how to use it and what it does. Everything on the shell is like kind of really scarce in terms of descriptions because the device doesn't have that much memory to store very big help descriptions and very big messages. So you have to get used to this kind of minimalist approach, no? But still, as you can see, you have a lot of different commands that allow us to do a lot of different things. I recommend you that when you start using the shell, give a brief reading of the help command to see what's over there. Today, we're going to check most of these commands in a not pretty in deep, but in a superficial way. So, moving on. Real-time output, as we talked in a second ago, the kit will continue outputting anything that is happening to him. As you can see now, for example, there is a message, error, token is not configured. That was because I clicked the button on the kit and the kit tried to start network mode, but he saw that there's no configuration, so an error is popped out, okay? If I click it again, he will come back to setup mode and as a red LED, and we will see the message that the ESP, the Wi-Fi, it's already up, offering a hotspot to be configured. When we configure the kit or we interact with it via the shell, we don't need a smartphone to configure it because we can do it directly through this interface. Also, this interface is very good for debugging purposes because since we see all the messages of what's happening, we have a really good insight on the details of the errors, on what's a sensor being detected or not, if the readings are coming out at the rate that we expect, stuff like that. And also, another important thing is that you can integrate this interface with the scripts. We have a Python interface already set up, and you can use shell scripts or any type of scripts that you're used to program in your computer to interact with the kit in a more automatized way. So if you have to flash or you have to reconfigure 20 kits, building a script and using the shell interface normally tends to be the best approach for that matter.